Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Aditya Gupta. I'm currently pursuing my DM in Pediatric Oncology from AIIMS Delhi, having done my MD in Pediatrics and MBBS from AIIMS Delhi again. Now in this video I'll be talking about how do you prepare for NEXT. So this is the national exit test. You know, a lot of information is going around, like how do you prepare for it. There's a lot of confusion that is actually there as far as the preparation strategy for NEXT is concerned, simply because of the fact that you guys who will be appearing for it in 2023 or 2024, depending upon the COVID situation, depending upon whether NMC is actually able to bring it into the picture, the logistics of the exams and everything. So there's a lot of confusion that is going on. A lot of people are confused. How do you study for it, and how, what can you do as a medical student in their second or third year or fourth year? Fourth year probably not, because fourth year probably will appear for the NEET PG itself. But yeah, for the second or third year students especially, or maybe fourth year as well. But how do we go about this? Whether simply because nobody is giving you, this is the first time you'll be appearing for an exam. So let's get to in order to understand how to in order to crack an exam, you should always go into the examiner's mind. What is the reason, what the examiner is thinking, how will he set the paper, and what was the original thought process behind getting this exam into India. So this was the idea of Niti Aayog and NMC and everything to bring this exam. What their concerns essentially was the fact that what used to happen, that the first time you were eligible to appear for NEET PG was just after internship. And essentially what used to happen, that a lot of students stopped going to internship, or started bunking internship in order to prepare for the exam. So what they felt was that the skills that were required during internship were lacking. Okay. And at the same point of time, they also felt if they clubbed the MCI screening exam for the foreign medical graduates and this NEET PG, they'll have a single entrance exam to get more people into the workforce immediately. Okay. So something like US also has USMLE. USMLE is given both by the international medical graduates in order to get a residency in US, and it's also given by the US medical graduates. So here they also thought that the exam should be same both for the foreign medical graduates and for the Indian graduates. Ki Indian graduates are giving NEET PG. Foreign graduates have to give two exams. They have to give foreign medical graduation though, उनके MCI screening at the same point of time, then have to give NEET PG in order to get into PG. तो एक ही exam कर लो. And when should you conduct it? They thought, अच्छा internship के बाद रखते हैं, तो internship में कोई nobody attends internship. Everybody is busy studying for the exam. So let's keep it just after final prof. So they will be giving final prof at the same, instead of after giving final prof at the same point of time, they appear for this MCQ test. If they get a percentile, if they get above, the 50% or something, that passing marks, whatever they might be keeping, they are eligible to go into internship. They're eligible to practice as an intern. At the same point of time, if those marks can be used to get an exam. So this was the same thing exactly as USMLE. You have to pass in USMLE. For example, आप US medical graduate होते, you have to pass in USMLE to be able to eligible for entry into US residency. And those USMLE scores are then used to judge, okay, whether you will match into this area or वो area. So basically what India did is, still like an artist, they wanted to copy US. Okay, and how much questions that they should keep, वो उन लोगों ने exactly US के तरह कॉपी किया कि US स्टेप 2C के जो था, स्टेप 2C के नेक्स्ट बन गया, एंड स्टेप 2CS जो था वहाँ पे क्लिनिकल स्किल्स के एग्जामिनेशन होता था, वो उन लोगों ने यहाँ पे पार्ट 2 के फॉर्म में रख दिया कि इंटर्नशिप के बाद वो पार्ट में अपेयर करोगे, ताकि तुमने अगर इंटर्नशिप यू वुड हैव अटेंडेड इंटर्नशिप डिलीजेंटली, यू वुड बी एबल टू पास दैट एग्जाम दैट टेस्ट योर स्किल्स एंड एवरीथिंग. In final prof, they said that what I have gotten to know, there will be around 60 questions from pediatrics, 120 from medicine and derma and psychiatry. Consider like 90 from medicine, derma and psychiatry both will have around 30 questions. Surgery on ortho anesthesia, again 120, 90 plus 30. PSM will have 10% question. ENT will have 60. Opthal will have 60. Obs gynae will have 120. And there will be 10% questions will be from basic sciences of this. So let's assume you're in pediatrics, you are reading about, you're reading pediatric hematology, you're reading about thalassemia, sickle cell anemia. So certain questions will be about the pathogenesis of the disease, which you read in your second year in Robbins. I'm sorry. So, and 10% question will be from PSM, to total around 600 marks का paper होने वाला था. This is the proposed. Nobody exactly knows how do you go about it. But since the NEET PG also has this amount of questions, this proportion of question, everybody expected it to be like this. Now, एकदम what they have essentially done is USMLE की copy मारी है. very frankly. So USMLE Step 2 CS test you on these subjects. They are making next that. USMLE will give you a score based on which तुम अपनी residency you will be able to match exactly same thing जो यहाँ पे कर रहे हो. After Step 2 CK you again have to give Step 2 CS. Here after internship you have to give that. So how do you ace this? It's simple. It's an entrance exam. It's an MCQ based exam. How to ace an MCQ based exam? The tricks and tips remain the same. You know, you have to make notes of every subject so you are able to revise before the exam. You have to practice previous year questions so you know what kind of questions are going to come. You have to prepare, since they said the exam is going to be more clinical based. Again, USMLE inspired. Which exam in India is clinical based? INI-CET is clinical based. So definitely practice INI-CET question. Definitely take an inspiration from probably UWorld questions. Don't buy UWorld. I won't advise buying UWorld because UWorld is too expensive, especially for 1 or 2 year duration. Definitely not. But maybe you can consider buying a USMLE book which has questions of these medicine and surgery. So in order to get an idea what a clinical question is like. At the same point of time, what are the 3 main strategies that every topper of NEET PG will tell you or INI-CET will tell you? They had their set of notes, they had their concepts cleared because they read standard textbooks, and at the same point of time, they practice previous year questions so that do not get them wrong. So these things will stay same as far as next is concerned also. These are not going to be different. The question is, when do you start? So this is like so obvious. I don't know for anyone who's going to join your MBBS college right now, who's there in their second year, you know, there's no point studying in first and second year. And I'll tell you why. Especially thinking from next point of view, I'll tell you why there's no point studying in first and second year. You cannot maintain the stream for 4.5 years. No human is possible to prepare continuously for 4 years. It's like, it's very tough. You'll break down, you'll have a mental breakdown, you will, you know, it's a marathon that has to be done in phases with an end में एक sprint आनी चाहिए. या 4 साल के लिए तुम sprint में नहीं रह सकते. तुम सोचो कि मैं 4 साल से prepare करने लग जाऊँ, not possible. And especially when the exam is going to be of just final prof, उसमें सिर्फ 10% question होंगे first and second prof से, then why do you want to get into, you know, that in the first and second year itself you're taking subscription of Maro and PrepLadder? There's no point in doing that. Okay, you're just wasting your money. And I know that I have been critical of this apps. Let me be very clear about this thing in this video. I have been critical of these apps in first and second year only. In first and second year, these are the base of your being a doctor. You should focus on reading standard textbooks, and if you want to clear your concepts, you should use a good clinical resource like, you know, USMLE resources like Kaplan videos or Becker videos or Dr. Najib's lectures so that your concepts are strong, or Pathoma videos that I've always talked about. Okay, so that your concepts are strong. What Maro and PrepLadder essentially at times end up doing is that they are teaching from NEET PG point of view. Yeah, they're giving you facts. They are giving you information just about those facts which have been asked in the previous year questions again and again. Those things that are tested again and again. They're very heavily focused, the first and the second year material of these apps, especially as far as the NEET PG is concerned. And you, especially those who are going to join right now, you don't need that. You absolutely don't need that. Especially when the exam is going to be on the 3rd and 4th prof. In the 3rd and 4th prof, I'm actually in favor of going to coaching. Especially I'm very in favor, as of now, I'm very much in favor of going to a coaching in 3rd year. See, 3rd year is light. 3rd year just had PSM, ENT and Optha. Okay, if I give even one subject and I study one subject diligently for just 3 months, you have more than 6 months of easiness in which you can revise the 3rd year and the 4th year, your final prof subjects also. So 3rd year is the best time when you should consolidate everything, you know, make good notes of not just ENT, Optha and PSM, of medicine also and surgery also. At least do your first time reading of the subjects in the 3rd year itself. So that 4th year is meant for revising the notes that you made and reading those standard textbooks again and passing the exam, your theory exams in your university, at the same point of time clearing your next PG MCQ based. एंड में MCQ से पहले यार तुम्हें पूरा का पूरा सिलेबस एक दिन में जब रिवाइज करना होगा, अब मैक्सिमम 5 दिन में जब तुम्हें रिवाइज करना होगा, तो अगर तुम्हारे पास नोट्स नहीं होंगे, इफ यू डोंट हैव योर ओन सेट्स ऑफ नोट्स, यू वोंट बी एबल टू रिवाइज. सो द 3rd year should go into the effort of making those notes, reading those books and taking help from the coaching. Definitely. And especially 3rd and 4th year, the reason I'm recommending coaching in the 3rd and 4th year specifically is because these clinical subjects have questions which are based on Indian clinical scenario. Okay, and in this case, these apps or the offline coaching, they do a good job. They actually do a good job. वहाँ पे actually में help करते हैं. Not in first and second year यार. First and second, I'm not saying first and second year के subjects के जो teachers हैं वो अच्छे नहीं हैं. Govind Rai Garg is an excellent pharmacology teacher, but he's teaching from PG point of view. Okay, He's not, and he teaches well. I'm not saying he's not doesn't teach well. It's but a lot of the content that is given in these in the first and second year is need PG based. You have to realize that. And जब एग्जाम ही अब तुम्हारा थर्ड एंड फोर्थ ईयर होने वाला है, then why do you want to focus on that? So first and second year में don't prescribe to Maro and triple ladder. You will waste your money. But definitely in third and fourth year, उसमें use them thoroughly. वीडियो से नोट्स बनाओ, अपने कंसेप्ट क्लियर करो, ठीक है. नोट्स के बेसिस पे उनको क्वेश्चन, उनके क्यू बैंक्स को रिवाइज करो. दिल बी अ गुड सोर्स इन द थर्ड एंड फोर्थ ईयर, बीट योर मारो ऑनलाइन कोचिंग और योर ऑफलाइन कोचिंग फॉर दैट मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट. बट फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड ईयर में मत करो, ठीक है. अब मैं तुमको ये बताऊंगा कि एंड में नीट पीजी ही क्यों बन जाने वाला है, चाहे इसका मोटो अच्छा था. देखो, what will people do end up, I'll tell you. नेक्स्ट में people will get a passing marks. 600 नंबर का पेपर होगा, 300 पासिंग होगा, सिर्फ 300 लेकर आएंगे. रैंक अच्छी नहीं आएगी, ठीक है, कोई नहीं. इंटर्नशिप में इतने स्किल्स एक्वायर कर लेंगे थोड़ी बहुत इंटर्नशिप अटेंड करके कि CS जो उनका जो क्लिनिकल स्किल्स का एग्जाम है या जो पार्ट 2 है वो निकल जाए. चलो, बट मैक्सिमम टाइम फिर भी पढ़ाई करेंगे, फिर से अगले साल इंटर्नशिप के एंड में नेक्स्ट दे देंगे. एसेंशियली देखा जाए तो इन लोगों ने एक एक्स्ट्रा अटेम्प्ट दे दिया है फॉर नो रीज़न. And this is not going to solve the problem of this country. I don't know what these people were thinking. They thought just blatantly copying US will solve their problem. No. Even the steal like an artist that I've told you about, the point is to get inspired. You steal like an artist. You don't just steal. And this is what's going to happen to India. I'm sorry. Our policymakers are, I don't know what they thought. They thought this will help. But most likely in my view, it is not going to help. What will happen is you will pass in your final prof, just passing marks लेकर आ जाओगे. एक साल इंटर्नशिप में बैठ के अगेन फिर से you will prepare for this exam. You just barely pass in your skills, क्योंकि सिर्फ पास फेल होगा उसमें तुम पास कर जाओगे और एग्जाम फिर से दे दोगे. एंड इसके मार्क्स के बेसिस पे तुम्हें एक्चुअली में जो कॉलेज चाहिए वो मिलेगा. यही होने वाला है, ठीक है. सो these are my views about next and how to prepare. So basically the best time to prepare is third year. थर्ड ईयर में तुम अपना फाइनल प्रॉफ पूरा एक साल में कर सकते हो, एक्चुअली में कर सकते हो. Use resources. It's fair enough to use coaching for this or your online apps. Both are, in further videos, I'll tell you about the pros and cons of each and app. Since I've used both the apps, actually, I did use both the apps in some form. I'll tell you the pros and cons of both these apps. And then you can decide which is better for you. You have to take the decision as an individual. सब कह रहे हैं कि नहीं प्रेप लैडर ले लो तो प्रेप लैडर नहीं लेना. सब कह रहे हैं नहीं अनअकैडमी ले लो तो अनअकैडमी नहीं लेना. सब कह रहे हैं मैरो ले लो तो मैरो नहीं लेना. हर ऐप का एक प्रो है और एक कॉन है, ठीक है. उस प्रोज एंड कॉन्स के बेसिस पे डिसाइड, ओके दिस मेरे को ये चाहिए, दीज आर द थिंग्स दैट आई डिजायर. आई वांट बेटर नोट्स, और आई वांट बेटर क्यू मैक, और आई वांट बेटर टीचर्स. Depending upon this, you can decide, okay, this app is more suited for me, or this coaching is more suited for me. If you have so many options, then learn to take advantage of those options. Don't think that this option is the best or this option is the best. Each option is best for that particular individual. Okay? So hopefully I've cleared all of your doubts. Thank you and have a nice day.